Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are tackling self-reliance.
Ooh, self-reliance. I like it.
Yeah, it's something I think we could all use a little bit more of these days. So we're going to be looking at a motivational speech about this topic and hopefully extracting some golden nuggets of wisdom.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so to kick things off, how does this speech define self-reliance?
Well, it goes beyond just, being able to fix a leaky faucet or change a tire. Those are great skills to have, of
Oh, of
course.
course, got to have those life skills.
Yeah. This speech is talking about a deeper level of self-reliance. It's about becoming your own mentor, your own inner guide, even your own personal cheerleader.
I like that, your own personal cheerleader.
Right. No more waiting for validation from the outside world. You cultivate that from within.
So it's like you're calling the shots in your own life, making your own decisions, charting your own course.
Exactly. And you own those decisions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's where the real growth happens.
And speaking of people who made bold decisions and charted their own course, the speech highlights some pretty inspiring figures like Helen Keller and Thomas Edison.
Oh, fantastic examples, both of them. Talk about resilience.
Right. I mean, Helen Keller living in a world without sight or sound, but she didn't let that define her. She became an author, an activist.
A powerhouse. And Thomas Edison, I mean, how many times did he supposedly fail before perfecting the light bulb?
Like 1,000 times or something, right?
Something like that. But he didn't give up. He saw those setbacks as stepping stones.
And that's such a powerful lesson for all of us. It's not about being perfect, it's about persevering.
Absolutely. Both Helen Keller and Thomas Edison, they weren't superhuman. They were resilient. They embraced the challenges. They learned from their experiences, and that fueled their growth. And that's something we can all do.
So we've established that self-reliance is important, but what's in it for us? What are the benefits?
Oh, there's so many. This speech lays out some pretty amazing benefits.
Okay, lay them on me. I want to hear them.
Greater independence, unshakable confidence, stronger problem-solving skills. It can even boost your creativity.
Okay, now you're talking. I mean, who doesn't want more confidence and creativity?
Right. And one of the biggest benefits is the freedom that comes with self-reliance. You're no longer bound by other people's expectations or limitations. You define your own path, you set your own goals, and you create a life that aligns with your values.
Well, it's like breaking free from chains. Chains we might not even realize are holding us back.
Exactly. You're not waiting for someone to give you permission or tell you what to do. You're taking ownership.
Now, I love this idea of self-reliance, but there's this prevailing notion that we need others to succeed. Teamwork, collaboration, the it takes a village mentality. How does that fit in?
It's a great question, and it's something that the speech actually addresses head on.
Oh, interesting. So what does it say?
Well, it challenges this belief that we need others to achieve success. It suggests that it might actually be a limiting belief.
Are we saying ditch all our friends and family and become hermits?
No, not at all. It's not about isolation. It's about recognizing your own inherent strength.
Okay, so it's more about a shift in mindset than anything else.
Right. And the speech uses a really powerful metaphor to illustrate this. The eagle soaring alone, relying solely on its own wings, and the power of the wind beneath them.
I love that image. Soaring like an eagle. That's what we're talking about here. Reaching new heights, tapping into that untapped potential.
Exactly. It's a profound shift from dependency to self-empowerment.
I'm all fired up now, ready to spread my wings and soar. But how do we actually make this shift? How do we build that self-reliance muscle?
Well, the speech outlines some practical steps that we can all take.
All right, let's hear it. Give us the roadmap. What's step one?
It all starts with building unshakable confidence.
Unshakable confidence. Oh, I like it, but how do we do that?
Well, it's not about arrogance or bravado. It's about recognizing your inherent abilities and trusting yourself to make sound decisions.
So it's about believing in yourself.
Exactly. And you build that belief by starting small, achieving mini victories.
Like setting small goals, accomplishing them, and letting that success fuel your confidence.
Yes. And don't underestimate the power of celebrating those wins, no matter how small they may seem.
Celebrating the wins, that's something I need to do more of. So we're building confidence by taking small steps and celebrating our wins. What else can we do to cultivate this self-reliance?
The speech really emphasizes continuous learning.
Continuous learning.
Yeah, the world is constantly evolving, so we need to be lifelong students, always seeking out new knowledge, skills, and perspectives.
So it's about being adaptable, being able to roll with the punches.
Exactly. The more you know, the more you can do, the more equipped you are to face any challenge that comes your way.
It's like having a Swiss Army knife of skills. The more you have, the more versatile you become. But how do we decide what to learn? There's so much information out there. It can be overwhelming.
It can be, and that's where that self-reliance muscle comes in. It's about being discerning, figuring out what truly serves you, what aligns with your goals.
So it's not just about consuming information. It's about being selective, about curating what we allow into our minds.
Exactly. And this ties in beautifully with the idea of crafting a personal vision, another key element of self-reliance.
A personal vision. Okay.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by that?
It's about having a clear picture of where you want to go in life, what you want to achieve, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. It's not a rigid plan set in stone, but a guiding light, a compass that helps you stay on course, even when things get tough.
So it's like having a North Star, something that keeps you motivated and inspired even when you encounter obstacles.
Exactly. And this vision should be deeply personal. It should be rooted in your own values, passions, and aspirations.
So it's not about what others expect of you. It's about what you truly want for yourself.
Precisely. And that's a really important distinction to make.
It is. It's so easy to get caught up in external expectations and lose sight of what truly matters to us. But, let's face it, life isn't always smooth sailing. How do we stay self-reliant when we hit those inevitable bumps in the road?
That's where adaptability comes in.
Adaptability.
Yes, the path to self-reliance isn't a straight line. There will be challenges, setbacks, even failures. It's about having the resilience to bounce back, to learn from those experiences, and adjust your course as needed.
So it's not about avoiding those challenges, but rather learning to navigate them with grace.
Exactly. And that brings us to a crucial aspect of self-reliance, especially in today's hyper-connected world, and that is the ability to create and maintain an inner sanctuary.
An inner sanctuary. I love that. Tell me more.
So imagine having this space within yourself, a place of peace and clarity, where you can retreat from the chaos of the world, reconnect with your values, and make decisions that are truly aligned with your truest self.
So it's like a mental fortress where you can recharge, strategize, and find that sense of inner peace amidst the storm.
Exactly. It's not about shutting out the world entirely, but rather having a place to process everything that's coming at you and make sure your actions are guided by your own internal compass.
So it's about creating boundaries, both physical and mental, to protect that inner space. And I think a lot of us struggle with boundaries, especially in a world that's constantly demanding our attention. Any advice on how to set those boundaries effectively?
That's a great question, and it's something we'll definitely dive into next time.
Okay, tease alert.
Mhm.
We'll be back next time with more practical strategies for cultivating self-reliance in a world that's constantly trying to distract us.
That's right.
All right, so last time we were talking about building that unshakable confidence, and you mentioned starting small. But I think, like a lot of us, I get overwhelmed when I try to, break down big goals into those manageable steps. Any advice on how to actually do that?
Well, yeah, it's easy to get intimidated when you're looking up at, this huge mountain you want to climb. But every climb starts with just taking that first step.
One step at a time, that's right.
So one of the most effective things you can do is break down those big, audacious goals, those big, hairy goals, into smaller, more achievable milestones. Think of it as like creating a roadmap with clear checkpoints along the way.
I like that. So it's like you're not just wandering aimlessly. You've got a plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And each small victory you have builds momentum. You get that boost, and it fuels your belief that you can conquer the next challenge. And don't underestimate the power of celebrating those wins, no matter how small they seem.
Oh, celebrating wins. That's huge.
Yeah.
I think it's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to, stop and smell the roses, acknowledge our progress.
Yeah, it's like we're always focused on what's next, that we miss the satisfaction of what we've already accomplished.
So true. So we're building confidence, we're taking small steps, we're celebrating the wins. What else can we do to develop that inner strength?
Well, the speech puts a lot of emphasis on continuous learning.
Continuous learn, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the world's always changing, right? So we need to be lifelong learners, always seeking out new knowledge, new skills, new perspectives. Think of it as constantly upgrading your toolkit for life, The more tools you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes your way.
That's a great analogy. It's like having that Swiss Army knife of skills. The more you have, the more adaptable you become. But how do we even decide what to learn? There's just so much information out there. It's overwhelming.
It is. And that's where, that self-reliance muscle really comes in. It's about being discerning. It's about figuring out what truly serves you, what aligns with your goals and your values.
So it's not just about absorbing every bit of information that comes our way. It's about being choosy, It's about curating what we let into our minds.
That's it. And this ties in really well with the idea of crafting a personal vision. And that's another really important element of self-reliance.
A personal vision. Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's about having a clear picture in your mind. Where do you want to go in life? What do you want to achieve? What kind of impact do you want to make? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? It's not about having, some rigid plan that's set in stone, but more like a guiding light, like a compass that keeps you headed in the right direction.
I like that. So it's like even when you hit those detours, you've got something to refer back to.
Yeah.
Something that keeps you motivated and on track.
Exactly.